Okay, you can start.
Okay. Hi. Good morning. Bonjour. Hello, everyone.
Bonjour. Hola.
Right. Welcome to join IEFT webinar talks organized by CY Tech on this Tuesday afternoon time. So here you cannot see my face. It's a pity, but you will see our presentation. So I have it's me. My name is Şimdi, and I'm the person in charge of the promotion and recruitment for international bachelor.
I am
in Data Science. So I have my colleague Diana. So I'll let her present.
Hello, I am Diane de Rousseau. I'm coordinator of international relations, and I'm working with CIME to do this webinar.
Right. Perfect. So today, what we're going to talk, you will see we have 4 items. We want to talk about the school, the university, and the graduate schools, as well as why I study in France. As far as I understand, I think CY Tech is the only French school registered so far for the webinar talks. So I think it's a great opportunity to exchange the French education system with you. And afterwards, of course, we have the bachelor and master program instructed in English to share with you. At the end of the seminars, you had a question, raise your question, we'll give the answer. So I will start the presentation first, and my colleagues will complete it. I will complete in the master program, as well as student life, campus life in France and on campus. Here, you will let you see the video about where's the school and how this is created and who are the partners. So it starts from 1st January 2020. The school, the university is composed of 4 partner schools. So you have EISTI engineering schools, now called CY Tech, and you have the other 2 partners, ILEPS and EPSS. So, and the school is associated with the World Business Schools as accredited schools. Design Your Life is a logo of this new university, CY Cergy Paris University. Okay, so we go to the next page. We just talked about the CY Cergy Paris University. If you see from this map, you will see a circle here, Pontoise. That's the cities where Cergy located. And you will see the triangle, the red part, this is Paris. So we are at the skirt of Paris. And why CY? If you pronounce in English, it's like CY. Okay, and second in meaning, if you name the city's name Cergy, CERGY. If you take the first letter and the last letter of the city name, so the city comes from Cergy. And Paris, because we are close to Paris. That's the name, why the school, the new name of the school. And why we call it YGEC. Why the other meaning? Because in French words, the Y we pronounce YGEC. So Y, you have the English Y, your city name, and your English pronunciation. The other meaning is, you look at the river, we call it Seine. You had this river, you had 2 sub-streams. So the emerging point is at Cergy-Pontoise, where there he continue go to the Atlantic Ocean. So if you look like this, it looks like Y, where the meaning comes from. And because you just see the 4 partner schools of CY Cergy Paris University. And how are our programs? So our Master of Economics is ranked number 1 in France. And in terms of graduates, the evaluation in terms of the salary graduates will rank number 4 among all French institutions. In France, you have over 216 academic institutions. So the ranking number 4 is a very good indicators. And our partner schools, what a partner school, because school is associated with a business school named ESSEC, as a world top 3 in management. Besides, in terms of the school overall ranking, by Shanghai ranking, I think a lot of people knows about it. The mathematics department is ranked the world top 200. And in terms of internalization of a school, it's ranked among the top 300 by Times Higher Education. And the engineering school, CY Tech, is ranked number 1 or number 2 in France in terms of the engineering studies in information technology. Now we move to the next page. Okay, come to study in France. But why study in France? What are the advantages to study here? You will see the APS, equivalent to working permit. I mean, any international students, especially the students outside from European Union, if you are pursuing a higher education studies, 2 months before the end of your study, you can ask for the APS, the working permit. Or if you find a job, the APS allows you to stay in France to work as a French citizen. And the other meaning means if you find a job, you can go direct to work, sign the contract with the employer, and ask your working permit later on. So this is the APS. If you start to work 1 year, and before the end of your contract, you can ask for extension of the APS, or at this time it allows you to see with the employer to extend your working permit. Working permit. The secondly, made in France. In France, you have a lot of business schools, engineering schools, and of course, university, public or private. So a lot of schools, they are working hard to have the quality labels. So you have like CTI is engineering schools labels, that CY Tech is labelized. You had ISO as a quality education, but you have also the other like grade master. Grade master is the French national degree for the master program. And you had the other international accreditation label, EQUIS, MBA, ACSB. So we move to the CAF. We call it, in French, we call it CAF. It means it is a French government house at any international student, including outside European Union. If you are studying in France, you are eligible to request the house ad, and it means the French government will pay back around 30% of real rental pay of any international student, or including the French student as well. Then in France, it is a French-speaking country, but France is the country after UK who gives numerous English instructed programs in European unions. Despite you are living in France, but you can study in English. The other is, in France, you can study as a full-time student, but it allows you to study as a part-time student. And you can have the status, both student and employees at the same time. The part-time students if you are working, it means you can receive the salary, the monthly salary. And most of the time you can negotiate for the employer to pay for the tuition fee, or part of the tuition would cover the whole tuition. It depends on the negotiation and depends on the tuition fee. So here, study in France. But we have summarized table for your information. Look at here. You had after baccalaureate, you study higher education in France. As I mentioned earlier, in France, you have over 216 schools and universities. So your university system, you have, we call it Grand École system, your professional and technical higher education system. So French university here, normally, if you look on the right side, the light blue color, for students who want to study medical schools. So they study for 3 years. If they successfully pass the first term exam, they go to advanced medical, and then with a specialization like to be a specialist for a pediatrician, a specialist for eye doctors, or for pregnant doctors. So they go to additional studies. So generally in France, you see a doctor, normally, we call it doctor because most of the time they have acquired 7 to 9 years of studies. And then we move on to the next, the middle here. You look at the licence equivalent, we call it French Bachelor, and with the French educational reform, now French Bachelor licence is 3 years. And afterwards, students, they study 2 years, they will receive a master degree. And these 2 years is master 1, master 2. But there's another possibility to study directly after baccalaureate. You study 5 years that allows you to obtain master degrees. And now we move on to the Grand École. Grand École here, you have with 2 years preparatory schools, either schools, we call it CPGE, specialized, to prepare a student to enter either business schools or engineering school to studies. But after 5 years studies, they will receive the master degree. Some schools even offer master grade, means master grade. It's a national French government recognized national degrees. Besides, if you go to left side, here you have the technical and professional schools. So for students who are interested in technology, let's say 2 years at IEFT system, and then they can join 3-year studies. And this 3-year study, most of the time, is a part-time. So part-time allows them to work and to study at the same time. So this is one, it's another way to obtain an engineering degrees. And then you have to, after baccalaureate, the other options, if you want to join the employment market, so you can study 2 years, that allows you to obtain, we call it BTS degree. So now you had ideas about roughly idea about the French education systems. Now we want to start with the bachelor programs. Why bachelor data science? Data science, our bachelor is the program combines the applied mathematics, management, finance, data science, financial techniques, and information technologies. Because in Europe, single market, you have over 350,000 data scientists. But there's not enough academic institutions to train the data scientists to meet this requirement. And here we are. So what our students studies, as I mentioned earlier, our students study management, study data science, study to have the study financial engineering, study IT, but we have some innovative academic contents like current issue modules. And also we invite a guest to deliver speeches or conference to our students every Friday afternoon. So the program content is innovative, internationalized, and intelligence. And besides, the flexibilities allowed our students to obtain 3 degrees in 5 years. So you have the licence, is a French master, bachelor, because we grad bachelor, it's a 4 years program, very similar to American or British education system. And if the student extended additional years, allows them to obtain either an engineering degrees or master degrees. In France, the student graduate from the Grandes Écoles, either engineers or business schools. They enjoy a high social status in France. That's the reason why the engineering degrees has additional value on your CV and your future career development in France. And of course, the program contains international mobility and for internship experience. I mean, each year student had internship and the duration of internship extended according to the years of the student studies. So here, the data science, we want to train the professionals in data science, in data stack, system administrator, smart system, security managers, artificial intelligence. And especially in recent, we are in, fight with coronavirus. And the reality is data science is widely applied in the medical research, especially in recent periods. It's an important tool according to the data analysis that comes out the possible result and decisions for the decision makers. And besides, because Ms. mentioned earlier, international students, you are studying in France. So we offer the free French courses, but you are studying English structured programs. So 4 years after, our international students, they are able to use the French to communicate with classmates, with the future employer, because time trains and time perfects and language learning. So here is the learning models. We are teaching the basics, but we are deepening also the advanced knowledge. And here you had a project, but project has to be realized. So internship come to validate. And you had individual and group case studies. So what I learned, I apply in my project, in my internship, and I need to learn. I have a question. So I come back to school. I come back to see the knowledge I have attained. Here, your individual group practice, you'll be monitoring, the evaluation is a whole academic round. So here, two applications. You type any Bachelor on any search engine, you will find out our programs. You still have to demonstrate potential interest in mathematics, and you need to have the English levels, of course, as well as the application form and admission requirement. If you want to apply, we offer 15 scholarships for international students. The tuition fee is at 10,000, and if the student is a grant scholarship, it's at 5,000 euros per year, and the scholarship is possible to be extended to a second year. That's the reason why we say 15 scholarship of 10,000 euros for international students. You are not too late to apply. You're interested, contact us. So here I will pass to my colleague Diana talking about international master programs.
Hello. Now we are going to talking about the international master programs. Our first master program that we offer in CY Tech is the Big Data, and the second one is the Quantitative Finance. Sime, can you please change the slide, please?
Yes.
So, firstly, for our international students, we are going to explain the organization of international master's programs. Why? Because the educational system here in France is totally different than in other countries. Why it is so different? So, if the students want to apply to a master program, normally a master degree globally is 2 years. But however, in France, there are two options for a student based on their background. They have a first year of master or master 1 and second year of master, or we say master 2. Master 1 is best for students with 3 years of undergraduate degree or 15 years of formal education. This has 2 academic semesters, and each semester has 30 credits that students must validate. The Master 1 is considered a first-year program for students with no or little knowledge of the program they are going to study. The Master 2 is only for students with 4 years of undergraduate degree or 16 years of formal education. These have 2 academic semesters. In the first semester, the students need to validate 30 credits, and the second semester is divided in 2 parts. The first part is the courses that have 30 credits, and the second part is an internship and a master thesis. Now, Simek, can you please change? Thank you.
Yes.
Now, the duration of all the master is 24 months. The fee for this master is 7,000 euros per year. The total credits that the students are going to get is 120 credits. All the master is taught in English. That means that the students that they don't have a good French level, they're going to take a French course during their studies. This is very important for us because even if the students are going to exchange with the teachers, with other students in English, it's very important that our students speak French and to know our culture. How? We're going to give the tools to the students for they can begin to speak and to understand French and to learning more about the French culture. The beginning of the master is in September, and the entry requirements is hold a Bachelor of Science or equivalent and an English certificate with a B2 level. This is only for the students that they never, their mother language, it is not English, and for the students that never follow an English course. Please change.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, the first master, international master that I'm going to talking about is the Big Data. Why study a master degree in Big Data? So in this master, the students are going to learning about the architecture, business intelligence, the data mining, and the business resource optimization. This knowledge, this is going to let the students to have more opportunities in the area of business intelligence that now we can find in different areas as IT, software, banking, finance, healthcare, automotive, marketing, and others. So students can find a job even in public companies or private companies. This master brings the students doubling your job opportunities. That means that you can find a job as a data scientist, consulting engineering, research, and development worker, and another kind of jobs. Can you please change, please? Another master that we offer is the Quantitative Finance. The Quantitative Finance is going to give the skills to the students to apply a quantitative techniques and econometric models to the complex financial problems and develop and apply new econometric solutions when required. The students also, they are going to learning by our e-learning platform, where they're going to be connecting to the Bloomberg. What is the Bloomberg? The Bloomberg is a trading room with 16 terminals that provide to the students operational knowledge in the financial fields. Can you please change, please? The professional future for these students that are going to follow the Master Quantitative Finance is the main business area in security industry, commercial banks, investment banks, insurance companies, accounting firms, and others. The students can find a job in France as a research analyst, quantitative market analyst, IT tool designers, and trader. Okay. We have a lot of partnership with companies that are from France and they are coming from different countries. The students had the opportunity to do their internship that have a duration of 5 months in different companies as industrial companies, fashion companies, or energetic companies, as Alstom, that is a very an industrial company that is all of the person know this company about the train construction and the subway construction. This company hire every year 20-25 students from different countries and different schools. Our students, 68% of our students or more, they find an internship easier in France, in Paris, or in another city. Can you please change? Now I'm going to talking about campus life. What about our campus life in France and in Cergy? As my colleague, she said, the campus of the school is located in Cergy, that is a town that is not so far from Paris. And for that, the student residents are cheaper than in Paris. The accommodation offer that we do to the students is the cruise student residence. What is the cruise student residence? These residents, they are public, and the students, they're going to pay per month between 300 to 500 euros. These residents provide the students with all the accommodation, Wi-Fi, electricity, water, parking, and another benefits for they can follow their studies and to live well in France. Also, students, if they don't want to choose a cruise student resident, they can choose to live with another students in a flat sharing or house sharing. Our international relations department, we are going to help the students to find accommodation. Can you please change? Another expense. Another expense is what we call the CVEC. The CVEC is something that the government now is implemented, that is a fee. This fee the students need to pay in order that we can orientate and integrate the student to the French culture, to the French social culture. The CVC, this is going to cover also the healthcare. The healthcare, for as you know, the healthcare in France is by free. So the students with this fee, they're going to pay 19 euros per year, and they're going to have a lot of benefits as cultural, sportive, and healthcare benefits. Another expense is the public transport. In France, we had a very good public transport. We had the train, the subway, and the tramway. And we use something that called the Navigo card. The Navigo card, the students can use for going from one town to another town. The cost of this card is the 30 euros per month. Most of the students that we have in our school that coming from different countries, 37 different countries, and they used to choose the bicycle as a transportation if they don't live so far away from the campus. But if they live far away, they use the train. We had the train most of the time. This work 24 hours a day, so they don't going to have a problem. When the student is going to accommodate, they also need to pay a home insurance. Because if something arrives happening in your accommodation, this insurance can cover all the damage. The insurance, this costs 40 euros per year. So with this information, we finish our presentation. If you have any question, please, you can contact me to the international@ieft.eu or to my colleague, Sime, to their phone number, 333-182310565, or email htl@ast.fr. Thank you so much for staying with us today in the webinar.
Okay. Thank you to join this webinar talks to listen to the programs, bachelor programs and master programs offered by CY Tech. And if you have questions, because I cannot see the screens from a question that you raised, so I just wonder whether there's a question raised. Can someone please repeat the question that we can answer it?
Where we can apply, they say.
Right. Where we can apply, you just type eisti.fr, and then you can select the English website. So where you will find out our programs. Our programs, you have the English program, you have the French instructive program, of course. So just click on, and when you click on the page, that would direct you to the program content, the admission criteria, and how you say tuition fee. I forgot to put a sentence that about the bachelor program. The tuition fee of the bachelor program is at 10,000 euros per year. That here I want to include it.
Had another question. Where they can apply to a scholarship?
The bachelor so far, school offered a bachelor's, the scholarship for the bachelor applicants. As long as the applications, are accepted by the jury committee, students can raise the required for the scholarship. And of course, student can, at a time of the motivation interview, the motivation interview is one of the admission requirements. As long as having received your applications, all the applications are studies, and the eligible candidates are invited to join the motivation interview. During this time, you can express your interest for the scholarship.
Had another question. Is the French course included in the fee? Yes.
Yes, that I already answered to you. It's free. We offer free.
Yes, for us it's very important, I repeat, that the students beginning to speak French. So this is in the master program, and is by free.
Right. So as I mentioned, a school is located outskirts of Paris, and you are studying English instructive program. You're just like the other international students. They can survive well, and you are learning knowledge of your field. But at the same time, we offer the French courses for students. So that's an advantage for you to survive in France. I would like to give supplementary information about internship that I failed to mention it, because any programs offered at CY Tech, the internship is one of the academic requirements. So the internship can be carried out in any countries in European Union or in your home countries like Turkey. And as long as you are working, you're taking an internship. Or attention, I say it's an internship, I don't mean a job. Of course, most of the time, according to the French law, the internship is paid as long as the duration is over 2 months.
Mhm.
And if you are paid and you are signed we call it convocation stage, stage communications, you are protected under the French law in case there's any accident happens.
Yes.
Even though you are working in European countries within the European unions, it allows you, this contract, the convocation of internship allows you and covers your internship experience with the European Union as well.
Had another question. Do you have an admission exam?
Admission exams. What do you mean by admission exam? The admission procedure.
For admission procedure. Yeah.
Okay. The admissions. I mean, the students, of course, they had to submit the required admission documents, and then as long as the application will be submitted for the jury committee, if they are eligible, they are invited to pass the motivation interview, and of course, the admission offer. The admission exam currently for the bachelor program, if the students, if the applicants, I apologize, if the applicants fail to meet, for example, or they are absent from school for some times, so that we cannot see the mathematical potentials. In this case, we will offer a test for the bachelor participants to pass. This is helpful to consolidate our choice in terms of the academic evaluation. This is about a bachelor, but Diana can complete the question if there is any admission exams for the masters.
Yes, for masters, we don't have an admission exam. This is only with the application form. Most of the time, the admission jury, they doing a small interview to the candidate, but we don't have an exam. Had another question. How many days and hours is the French course per week?
Most of the time, the French courses are offered at least 2 hours per week for international students. But it depends on the level of the candidates. So if the candidates already have the advanced levels, maybe they will join another class of the different group.
For complete the answer, we have something that called an association. The body is a French students that now they do a kind of course, a French course for international students. So if you want to learn more how to speak with a native French, you can enjoy this association and to speak most of the time French with the French people. And also for the people who wanted to follow the master program, the first weeks all the first weeks, they're going to have a French course, only French course. So this is for prepare the students for when they're going to buy something or just to do their life outside of the campus to be able to communicate in French.
Right. Just to give a complimentary information about the international student life in Cergy. I just present Cergy. In reality, there are 14 higher educations in Cergy-Pontoise. So Cergy, you can name it as a campus town, and most over 40 citizens are students, French students, international students. They are living and they are studying in Cergy. So it's a young, dynamic city, but it's a city outskirts of Paris where you can have the access to city center of Paris. Do what you want during the weekend. You can attend a lot of activities organized by the student union bodies, where that's a way you integrate into the French society. It helps you to learn the French quickly. It helps you to discover the countries. Right.
And to get a small job. I know some students, they are also coming here with their own money. So I know that it's difficult for some of the students to find a job. But in France, students are allowed to work 20 hours a week. So I don't think so it's going to be a problem. And you can find a small job in a restaurant, in a coffee, or as an English teacher, or different kind of jobs.
Right.
So I don't see any more questions. This is all the questions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How you say? The school is located in Cergy. It's close to a park. It's very enjoyable in the summertime or every day when you arrive in Cergy. You get up the train station, you get a bus station, you cross the park, and you arrive at the campus.
Yeah, have a lot of green place close to the campus that you can enjoy.
Exactly. So in France, the public facilities becomes part of the campus life. Mm-hmm. In France, it's different from the other USA or UK university systems. I mean, they have the campus integrate on the university as part as a student's space. But in France, this is a different system. The parks, the clubs, or any sports association, they are open to anyone, including international students. And you just go to register for the annual fees, depends on the activity, from 120 to 250. You can maintain the activities, sports activities that you are practice. And it's a good way. This is a culture. The sports is for you to keep balance of your life, but also your studies. Yes. So I of course, I encourage. Perhaps Dana, you have some additional information to bring in.
No, I don't have any more information. I think you say everything.
Perfect. Okay, and so you now you have our details. You have about the programs information. You know about our schools. For more information, email us or contact us. We are here to answer the questions that you have as long as we have received your request. So I maybe I give the I hand out the time to the organizers of IEFT. Perhaps they have some questions, or they have some information for us before to end this presentation.
Hi, Şimdi and Diana. Thank you so much. We don't have any questions, but the students can contact you anytime they want through your emails. And thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you to have offered this opportunity. We appreciate. See you.
Au revoir.
Yeah, bye.